You know how we roll.
All right. The therapy's on.
What you drinking, Tiff? Toast.
Hot tea,
Three.
lemon.
Me too. I got the same thing.
Oh.
This
I got I got ginger in mine though. Hot tea, lemon, and
I got
ginger.
ginger in mine too with
You
lemon.
copycat. You copycat.
all
I
right.
like spot.
All right. We're live. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Smith. Stephen A. Smith has a very unique job. He is the voice of the racist corporate world at ESPN. They pay him well to say and speak in the racist voice. That's why he laughs at us. Nothing happens to Stephen A. Smith when he disrespects black people. He does not get in trouble for this. Have you noticed this? This is the same people that wanted Kyrie to apologize who employ Stephen A. Smith. I don't think there's never been a time in history where a man can say so much negative things about black people and take up for people like Jerry Jones, and there is no repercussions for what he do. This Stephen A. Smith's presence in the world is proof as black people we don't really have a militia or people who ride for us. I bet Stephen A. Smith has not been approached about anything he's done to discredit and shame black people as he does such a well job of on ESPN, because ESPN is egging him on to do it. Their Caucasian boss tell them, listen, we need you to talk about Kyrie. We need you to take up for Jerry Jones. He was young at the time. Okay, boss, I'm going to go say something good. Don't worry about it. I'm going to put it together. And he went on there and he took up for Jerry Jones. We can look at Jerry Jones. We know when Jerry Jones had a problem with his players kneeling, and he said, he threatened them not to kneel. You know what I'm saying? That's a racist. That's a racist, and people are scared to call them for who they are because, you know what I'm saying? There's repercussions for that. Stephen A. wants to be accepted by black people. See, he got money from ESPN, but he wants to floss around us. We should never have any type of party, gathering, hangout spot where we are around a Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith should be uncomfortable around black people because he talks about black people. Wait, listen, man, I ain't seen nothing wrong with Kaepernick or Kyrie where they need to get talked about the way he talked about them. Yeah. But Jerry Jones, here's a man in a mob. That's a mob that Jerry Jones was standing in. And he took up for him. Yeah. He should be afraid to be around black people after that. But we don't have an organization or a leader that's in power that will guide us the right way.
That real talk.
Yes.
Real talk.
Spoke a lot of
Right.
truth.
We're gonna have some fun on this show.
So I'm sitting in a freaking phone booth of an airport terminal because I had to address this quickly. A photo from 1957 of Cowboys billion-dollar owner Jerry Jones stopping black classmates from desegregating his high school has surfaced. Why is this a huge deal? Because there's a lack of minority hires amongst the NFL. Many people say that owners are racist. I do not believe that owners are racist, but I do believe that owners are racially insensitive, racially ignorant, and have a definite racial preference based upon their history. Jerry Jones, last time I checked, has made 37 coaching hires, head coach, offensive, defensive coordinators. Only 4 of those have been black. I don't think that's a coincidence. Think about this. Jerry Jones was a captain of an Arkansas football team in 1968. That team was not integrated. And now a photo from 1957 has surfaced where Jerry Jones has stopped the integration, or at least tried to stop the integration of his own high school. You all, this is no small deal. The lack of minority hires because the people at the top, the owners, aren't diverse. But not only that, they have no diverse thought.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm glad we talking about
I was
it.
wondering why I haven't gotten a question from you guys about the Jerry Jones photo. But when the Kyrie thing was going on, you guys were quick to ask us questions about that.
Okay.
Hold on. And I don't even want you guys to say nothing. When I watched Kyrie talk and he says, I know who I am, but I want to keep the same energy when we're talking about my people and the things that we've been through. And that Jerry Jones photo is one of those moments that our people, black people, have been through in America. And I feel like as a black man, as a black athlete, as someone with power and a platform, when we do something wrong or something that people don't agree with, it's on every single tabloid, every single news coverage. It's on the bottom ticker. It's asked about every single day. But it seems like to me that the whole Jerry Jones situation photo, and I know it was years and years ago and we all make mistakes, I get it. But it seemed like it's just been buried under like, oh, it happened. Okay, we just move on. And I was just kind of disappointed that I haven't received that question from you guys.
They were speechless. I saw that, and they were speechless.
Yeah, I'm happy he said something because he lost 5 points to his black card from me.
Yeah.
Now, LeBron asked a rhetorical question, but allow me to answer it. Why had nobody asked? People in positions of power are protected. It's very simple. People in positions of power are protected. Jerry Jones is in a position of power. Regardless of what color you are, if you're in a position of power, you're protected. Now, most NFL owners, 31 out of the 32, happen to be white. We know why that is. Go do your history if you do not. So those people that are in positions of power are protected. I feel culpable even on this show because we had yet to talk about Jerry Jones. Now, the photo surfaced on Wednesday. We were not on air on Thursday. We were not on air on Friday. So there are reasons that are television specific. However, it wasn't until LeBron James brought it up that we now brought it on television. But even with them bringing it on television, Jerry Jones is in a position of power, so even we do not have full autonomy and authority to speak the entirety of our full thought because he's in a position of power. And people in positions of power are protected. Now, we could speak our full thought, but then you risk jeopardizing your job. Yeah. And if you risk jeopardizing your job, you risk jeopardizing your voice. And the person with the mic has the power. So as long as you got the mic, you got the power. So it would be asinine and ignorant of us to go speak on something, risk jeopardizing a job or an opportunity, and now we cannot speak on anything else going forward. That is the nuance to the question that LeBron James asked rhetorically. That is the truth of the answer.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with all he said, but we'll get into it. Here we go.
That's right.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow the Black Therapy Show. You be in a safe space, dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know, with Kevin, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We be proving you empathy, we gon' challenge you mentally. The right confrontation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God above. It's called Kevin and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hey. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Kev, Tiff, what's going on? Tiffany, what's up, baby?
Nothing, just chilling. How's everybody?
All right.
Tiff wave with both hands.
I know.
you need that presidential wave. To that one hand.
Look.
Tiffany, wait, I know you do the Princess Diamond wave or the Queen used to wave with that one hand. That's how the Queen used to wave when she would come to Barbados. She'd stick that one hand out of the Rolls Royce, just the hand with a
Just
white
the hand.
Sometimes you roll the window down just a little bit so you can get a little glimpse. Just the hand would come out.
Y'all were lined up for that too. Don't lie.
Dude, they used to make us line up on the street. They used to make us line up on the street as she drove around the island, and that freaking Rolls Royce would roll off the ship or the plane, drive around the island, and roll right back on that plane, and she was gone. Yeah, we saw the Queen. Woo! Oh my God, I want to shoot myself. Welcome everyone. Welcome to our Sunday show, the Black Therapy Show. Please like, share, subscribe. We actually need 8 more subscribers to hit 1,000. And once you hit 1,000, YouTube starts to monetize. So they really push your content once you hit 1,000. But we're at 9. We're in the 900s for a couple of weeks now. We can't seem to break that 1,000 mark. So please tell your family members, tell your friends. Just 8. We just need 8 more.
We just need 8, right?
So y'all said you said I gotta subscribe. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, subscribe, like it, subscribe.
My bad.
Yeah.
So please like, share, tell your friends. So that once we hit that 1,000 mark, that's when the help from YouTube kicks in to start to monetize, to start to share your content. They really push you once you hit 1,000. Once you're below that 1,000 threshold, they don't take you that seriously. So.
And we need to have this conversation.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So all right, let me see what we got in the comments before. Hey, Donna, Charlene, our resident Jew. Charlene say, hey, Norma.
You is ridiculous, resident.
Charlene. Jeez, that's what Darling.
She our Jewish sister. Hi, darling.
Yeah, her and I have private messages back and forth all during the week. You know, she even put me in a Charlene, is that group that I joined, is that all Jewish people? Because I noticed I think I'm the only black person in that group. So I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing and you know.
Just don't say nothing.
You're the modern day Sammy Davis Jr., bro.
Yeah.
See, Charlene says she's a resident Jew. There you go. Charlene, no. Charlene and I are very good friends, and our bond will not be broken. So,
that's good.
So I want to thank you guys for joining today's show. As you saw in the title of our show, we're going to talk about the Jerry Jones situation. If you don't or have not heard about it, Jerry Jones, he's the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not a football fan, so the first time I heard about Jerry Jones was because of this photo. There's a photo of Jerry Jones apparently when he was a 14-year-old teenager. He was at, I guess it was kind of a racist protest. I guess back then it was popular.
No, they was trying to go to school.
Right.
They were going to school, and you have the white, I call it, was like he said, a white mob, a gang of white people, you know, out there screaming and spitting on black young people. And these are all teenagers while they're trying to go to school. They was integrating the school, and they found this picture and they put it up. And let me say this is fair use. This is educational purposes, and everything that we talk about is our opinions, and it is alleged, because we don't want y'all to come for us, okay? But yeah, the picture is almost 65 years old. My question is, how many of those people that he know is in that picture, his classmates, and who they is alive now? You know how many of them is probably still alive, or they children is alive? You know, they was out there screaming and spitting on black people because they didn't want them to go to school.
But his defense is he just went to see what was going on.
No,
okay.
no. That was a school. They was in school. That was like a school thing.
But didn't he say, I think that's what I heard he said, that he would just happen to be there to see, you know what I mean, what was going on or something like that. Of course he's going to try to spin it like he wasn't really. I mean, what's he going to say? Yeah, I hate niggers, and I just went to make sure they don't come to our He's not. You know, he's never going to say that.
No, by the way, Jerry Jones is an iconic. I mean, there's what, I guess, of all the owners, he's one of the most iconic owners, flamboyant as far as, you know, some owners are quiet, behind the scene guys. He's one of those guys that's, you know, in the football world, he's huge, you know, as an owner, you know. So So people who don't know who he is, he's pretty. He's just not an owner. He's pretty out there. Everybody knows him in the sports world. So
Yeah. Also the
he's a big
same.
shot. He's
Yeah.
a big shot owner. Yeah, he's
Mhm.
one of those quiet guys with the money you don't know about. But he's definitely. And oh, by the way, he didn't stand up for Kaepernick. Can I bring that up?
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that because he asked what he told his players. He threatened his players if they tried to kneel or something, you know.
What he was gonna ban them from playing. He was gonna fire them, or what was he gonna do? Like,
So here's the
What was
question.
they doing?
Here's the question. When you grow up in that era, a lot of people brought up like Senator Byrd, for example. Senator Byrd used to is no longer with us. Senator Byrd used to be a member of the KKK, right? And his argument was, in West Virginia, he was raised in West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
He was raised by his parents who were in the KKK,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he grew up racist. Obviously, he was brainwashed into this philosophy from his parents and his surroundings, and he grew up, and became a senator, But then he changed his ways. Apparently, he said that he was no longer racist, that he was educated, and he's moved forward, and he's denounced the KKK publicly. Because there are a lot of pictures surface of Senator Byrd with Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden, and all these people,
Most
and they
of the
try to say,
white elite.
they said Joe Biden's taking pictures with Senator Byrd. He's a racist, but y'all talking about Trump. So that whole thing came up. So my point is, if you're raised racist, and a lot of people are raised racist, do you and you change your ways? I don't know if Jerry Jones changed his ways, or I don't know if he's racist. I don't know. I'm just saying, if you are a racist when you're a kid because your parents were racist, or your school was racist, or your environment was racist, or your whole neighborhood was racist, but as a grown man, you change your ways. I mean, are you still held accountable for what happened when you were young? I'm just asking that question. Somebody on the panel or people watching can answer.
I'm going to give a shout out to Jolly Good Ginger. He's a white guy, and he tell you that every white person was raised racist. That's a part of their lifestyle. He said, but him as a person, he's going to make a change, and he's going to go out there and he's going to talk and educate other people about racism and how to change their ways. It's out there. So yeah, maybe you can change, but you need to be changed and going out there and stop it. I did not hear Mr. Jerry one time apologize for it or say we done moved on. Like, it's just like a brush off, because I saw him talk about it. It was like a brush off. He was like, that was like 65 years ago. I never knew that would be a iconic time. I just walked up on it. No. You was out there. You saw what was going on. It wasn't like you was stopping them saying, no, don't do that to the black people. Let them go to school. You sat there and you watched it. So now you own a football company full of black men making mad money for you. So what they say, you can't beat them, you make money with them. He's just a new and improved slave master. And never think that he still don't have some of that ideology, because he wouldn't have told all his players that if you kneeled, I will shut you down. You will get no pay. He did that to his players, and that's the only reason why LeBron James said something.
You're right, Tiffany.
I'm most of the time.
Because that's what I was saying. Like, why wouldn't Jerry Jones or anyone in that position just come out and say, "Look, I was wrong back then. I was a teenager. I didn't know what I was." But some kind of apology, some kind of don't tell me that's the way it was back then. But come on, you lived through years and years after, so the kind of effect that stuff had on people. So to just brush it off as to it wasn't a big deal,
It wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago. Like it was what?
65 years ago. It wasn't that long ago, because we
still. Wasn't that long ago? Yeah. All our parents were alive.
My mother, yeah.
and young back in 65 years ago. So here's the point. and I made this point out pre-show. Let's, for example, say a picture surface of Jerry Jones at a Nazi rally or something like that. He would have automatically, already, he would have just made a statement. He would apologize, you
Oh,
know,
absolutely.
to the Jewish community for those pictures. He never apologized or came out and denounced racism or apologized to, black people, like Tiffany said. So, but if it was a picture of him in front of any sort of Jewish hate group that's 65 years ago, he would already apologize to the Jewish community, which goes back to the point that we have no respect.
No power.
Nobody respects us, basically.
Yeah, nobody.
We have power, but nobody respects us. We have power.
No, we have
Nobody.
power, but we don't use it. Our power is like all over the place. Other people have power, and they somehow bring that power together and use it as one. Our power is all. I mean, is all over the place. But let me say, Charlene said, "I was not raised racist. My folks never talked like that." But that's interesting you said that, Charlene, because your folks might not talk like that. I know people who tell me they're not racist. My parents didn't talk like that. We've never heard the N-word used in our house. But I've been walking and I've seen white people with their kids. And when they get close to me, they hold their kids tighter and they pull them closer.
That's a part of it. Right.
That happens to me all the time, too, Carl. I used to be a street performer. And when I street performed on the National Mall in Washington, D.C., I had the same thing, man. People will walk by and
indirect.
They watch me do my thing.
Right.
They even tip me back in the day, but they will hold their kids or whatever. But we see it all the time. It's that subtle racism. It's sneaky.
That's what it is. Subtle
sneaky racism that happens when you walk, like you said, Carl. You're in a grocery store and you're walking. That kid could be 4 feet behind his mother, but when she sees you, come on, Bobby.
Right.
And you're like, well, why are you calling Bobby now? You didn't call Bobby before you saw me, So I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Charlene, I know Charlene's not racist, but I'm saying your parent, you might not say stuff directly to say you're racist, but there are things that have been done, you know what I mean, to let you know. Because I told you guys,
I don't know. I find that's a tough one for me, man. Because like my mom. And I've said this on the show before. My mom was in an interracial marriage,
Yeah.
And my stepdad, I can't even comprehend him being a racist,
Right.
I just can't. And he was a lot older than my mom. He's since passed away, but he was older than my mom. I think he had like 20 years with my mom, something like that. But and just the coolest down to earth dude ever, man. I can't even imagine. And I'm not saying he probably grew up around some racism, and I just don't. When people say that, I just go, "Well, man, I don't know if my stepdad, he might have been around racism or knew people that were racist. I can't even comprehend him being racist, though.
All people,
just because of the way he interacted with my kids and our family,
Well, don't we all have white friends that are just the coolest, like that we've known for years and years, and they've never shown any sign of racism or any sign of. I mean, I have those kind of friends. I have, and it's not a lot, but it's enough. You know what I mean?
Then they all went and changed when Trump got in office.
Well, no, some of them remain consistent. Some of them, a lot of my friends, they remain consistent. A lot of them also went the Trump way, but a lot of them remain consistent. So I'm saying that to piggyback on what you're saying about your stepdad, he's just the coolest. And I know a lot of white friends that are just the coolest. And I told you.
Right, you have a percentage that are cool people, or they came from people that was racist and they saw their racism and was like, no, I'm not going to be a part of that. I want to be cool with everybody. Yes, we respect that. And then you have some white people that didn't raise their children like that, and we respect them too. But we're talking about the powers that be.
Yes.
What's going on today. Now, if any of y'all had to switch with us, y'all going to stay on your white side. I'm sorry. We all know,
of course,
not switching over to the black side. But Jerry, we understand it was 65 years ago. But what LeBron said, give him that same media energy that y'all was giving Kyrie and Kanye over this incident where Kyrie wasn't even born during that time that the Jews was being persecuted. He didn't know nothing of what that was going on. That was horrible what was going on, but y'all cannot put that all on him. So now y'all need to do the same thing in black media, black Twitter. Y'all should do the same thing for Mr. Jerry, the one that has the Cowboys.
So let me ask you guys something. So there's no forgiveness when it comes to racism. Is that what we're saying? Once you go racist, as I said, once you go black, you never go back. Once you go racist, you never be forgiven.
No, I think people can change. I don't think. I mean, look, the perfect example is Malcolm X, right? I mean, Malcolm X was, the young Malcolm X was everything. He was a pimp. He was a thug. Womanizer. He was a little bit of everything, right? Thief, drug dealer,
right?
Bootlegger, ran numbers. I mean, he was scumbag, right?
I'm talking about racism, like the N-word. Like, if a white person uses the N-word, they're done. If this guy was in a picture at a racist rally or whatever, you know what I mean? People want him gone, like, So it seems like once you use the N-word from history and from experience, I've seen that once you're white and you use the N-word or anything to deal with racism, that's it.
Well, he needs to come out. He needs to come out and say, "Hey, I'm not a racist, and I apologize for being at that rally
too late now.
a long time ago. And I was a different person back then, and I was hanging out with the rest of the crowd. And take responsibility for it. Don't hide behind it. That's all he has to do is just take responsibility. He's so powerful and so rich that he doesn't feel like he has to take responsibility.
Yeah, he don't have to, but
because there's no repercussions because all the black players on the Dallas Cowboys are on the field today. Most likely, if they play today, usually most teams play on Sundays. So if the Cowboys play today, guess who was on the field? All them black players. None of them said, "Hey, man, we ain't going out here and run that near football until you apologize." And see, that's the problem because those guys have a lifestyle they have to maintain. Football, especially football players, their lifespan is very short. Their careers are very short. They don't make most of them don't make the mega bucks like the NBA players. NBA and baseball players are paid very well.
Why is that?
Football players? I'm not quite sure because football is the biggest sport in America, right? It is the biggest sport in America. But NBA players and major league players make twice as much money as football players. Most football players that sit on the bench probably making about $250,000 a year, and that's good money, right? But that's not enough money to tell Jerry Jones to kiss your ass.
Yeah,
because you got a house, you got a car, you got a mama, you bought her a house now, and they got a mortgage on her house. So you got to keep that money coming in for at least another 10, 12, 15 years, right? So you can have that lifestyle that you're accustomed to. The average basketball player that sits on the bench that you don't even know of because he never plays is still making $5 million a year.
Yeah.
And the ones who are stars, they're making mega bucks. But even the unknown players, the bench riders are multi-millionaires. Is what I'm saying. It's not that way in the NFL. Those guys, they have to work to keep that Benz and to keep that nice neighborhood they live in.
Well, they need to get better financial advisors. They need to better manage their money because a lot of them do go broke. And also, they have a lot of medical issues. We see what Brent Favre is doing, coming up with some medicine to try to help them with their memory, but stealing from the Mississippi residents. It's just
by the way, Brent Favre is one of the lucky ones because he's one of the guys who made millions of dollars. So he is a superstar in his sport. He's a highly paid millionaire. That dude's worth $56 million, some shit like that. So yeah, he's not the guy that makes $250,000 a year. But I'm just making a point about the black players. I made a point that I think the black players would have just said, "Hey, Jerry Jones, you need to apologize to us." But they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that because they got to keep that check. They got to keep that check coming in.
He said that the man said it was 65 years ago. It's over with. That's how he feels. He said it.
which means he
And
don't have.
who's gonna argue with him? He's Jerry Jones. He's a superstar in his sport. He's a mega star, a very powerful, rich white man.
Can we
Excuse my language, who's gonna fuck with him? And who can? Who can?
But
Nobody.
yes, they can, Kev. If all the black players decided today we're not playing football on today, if we're not. Is there any football? I'm not a football fan. I know nothing about football. I'll admit that.
I've been start
All
watching
the black
football.
players decided we're not playing today. Could football play in America?
There. That's like me telling the booker, I'm not coming to work for your club for $1,000. I want 1,500. You already know, Carl. There's another comedian waiting for a phone call that's gonna come in and do it for $500.
Is he as good as Kevin Lee? Is he as good as Kevin Lee?
Do they care? Do they care? They don't care.
But
You know this. You know this, Carl. As Carl, you're a very good comedian. I've seen you work. You're fucking fabulous. You're funny as shit, dude. And you know what? You've been in this position where you see guys who aren't as funny as you that have spectacular careers, that are working every weekend, that are more far advanced than you. Are you correct? Am I correct?
They got necklace shows and everything.
Yeah, exactly. So they don't care. The club bookers don't care about how funny Carl is. They're gonna still book Jonathan Jobo, because Jonathan Jobo gonna come in and do the job for $150 when Carl wants, a decent salary to come in and do a set, right? So it's the same thing. They're gonna find guys to play because they got guys in other leagues that are playing football. Guys who in the semi-pros.
Would it be as exciting without the black players? Could an NBA with all white players pull the same audience?
There's a black player right now called that. There's a black player right now that's sitting at home in his house with some icy hot on his knees, probably waiting on a phone call.
Right.
So yeah, when one offensive lineman say, "Hey, I ain't coming in, Jerry Jones, kiss my ass," it is one phone call away to replace him.
Yeah.
Now that guy who told Jerry Jones to kiss his ass, like I said earlier, is making $300,000 a year, and that might be a lot of money to a guy for 9-to-5 job.
Oh, a
That's
9-to-5 don't have no money.
That's not a lot of money. That's not a lot of money to a guy that lives in a big mansion that he just got. He just bought his mama home because he got in the NFL. He loaned his brother some money. He bought a car for his dad. He got insurance. He got to pay on his 3 cars. You know what I'm saying? He got to keep that money coming in. So he's not going to tell. These guys are not going to tell Jerry Jones. They're not going to take that stand.
So there's no way to get off.
No, we have one guy. I say this every show. There's only been one human being on this planet that I know that would tell Jerry Jones to kiss his ass, "I don't want your money." That's Muhammad Ali. Everybody else, there was only one Muhammad Ali. I don't know what was in Muhammad Ali's blood to make him do what he did, but that's not in every African black man's blood, unfortunately. Ali took his gold medal and threw it off the bridge in Kentucky because they wouldn't serve him in a restaurant. He says, "I'm the heavyweight champ." He goes to a restaurant and they go, "We don't serve
me." Right.
What they tell Ali? They say, "We don't serve niggas." And Ali go, "That's good because I don't eat them."
Okay.
But he realized even with that gold medal, when he come back to this country, he's still to some people the N-word. So he took his gold medal, took that gold medal worth all the money that it was worth probably back in those days, and threw it into the river. So that's a special person, and I don't know we built like that anymore, brother. I think we are.
But Tiffany, what I'm saying is, if we can get all, so we're saying we would never. So basically, what we're saying is we can never get all the black people together.
Not dealing with this sport. I'm gonna tell you with this sports thing, they know what they're doing. I think they particularly pick certain men out and they make sure they get the ones that don't have nothing like that, but they real strong and they good athletes. they make more money off of them. You understand? And also, if you don't have no money, you think you're going to turn down what you got now to go back to what you are before? They're going to deal with whatever that man says. They be like, that was 65 years ago. He paying my bills.
So you guys are saying so we can never, black people can never come together in unity.
Well, as far as sports goes, everybody, listen to me. As far as sports goes, most athletes come from humble beginnings. Most of them, football players, NBA players. I don't know about baseball, but because I don't really follow baseball. But most NFL and NBA players come from regular neighborhoods. You know, and these guys
The answer is no.
play their sports, and they get a scholarship. They go to college, and they make millions of dollars, and they take care of their family the rest of their life.
And
so,
they be quiet. Yeah.
and I mean, you know,
Now they
do
talking
they
too much
want it?
now.
And that's going back to the comedian that's talking about Stephen A. Smith, and you know, but Stephen A. Smith.
Corey.
Here's the deal with Stephen A. Smith, right? And I like Stephen A. Smith. I don't think he's a sellout. I think he was wrong on this particular issue, but you could be wrong on certain issues. That don't mean you selling out your race.
Thank you. Kanye can be
You know what I'm
wrong
saying?
on certain issues.
You could be wrong on certain issues. That don't mean that we're gonna respectfully disagree on Kanye. That's why we're here to respectfully disagree. But I'm just saying, I don't think Stephen A. Smith is a bad guy at all. I think the dude worked hard to get to where he's at, and you know, nobody gave him the millions of dollars, multi-million-dollar contract that he now has. He earned it.
Yeah, but their mouth is too much when you go against another person for his own opinion. I don't think that none of them should have said anything about Kyrie. Kyrie was not being disrespectful. He talked very well, and that's his personal opinion. And for y'all as black men to come after him and then pull back and try to help him now, that's why I'm saying LeBron got brownie points for talking about Mr. Jerry. He got a couple of brownie points because Jerry needs to be exposed. You understand? And I hope that people recognize most of the people that are running these big multi-million, they were a part of the Jim Crow era.
Kyrie
generational.
Stephen A. been on Kyrie for a long time though. They've been battling back and forth for a long. Stephen A. was coming at the Kyrie hard on the because he didn't get the shot, and his team was getting their butt kicked and so forth. And it's a long. You guys don't follow that sport. I'm a big basketball fan, so.
But that was his choice too.
You're absolutely right. He's a grown man. That's his choice. You know, and he's stuck by his guns. So more power to him. But
what?
Stephen A. gets paid to talk about this. They pay him millions of dollars to talk about this type of stuff. Kyrie is a very popular athlete, and Stephen A. is a very popular, probably the highest paid sports commentator in America. So his job,
paying him to give his opinion.
Is to speak. His job is to speak on these things, and like all of us have an opinion. He's not going to jeopardize all the work he put in, you know, to provide for himself and his family either. You know, I'm sure they're living a very good life. And he's setting up his generational wealth through his kids and everything else. He's not going to jeopardize that, you know, just because some comedian, you know, who, you know, make a couple $1,000s a night is pissed off at him. You know what I mean? You know, so
you talking about Corey?
Yeah. I got to talk about Corey Holcomb. Corey Holcomb is pissed off at everybody. Corey Holcomb got
it on my nerves too.
Corey picks on everybody.
Corey be ridiculous, but he be keeping it real though. He
keeps it real.
Truth.
He keeps it real, but here's his deal. He's not corporate. He can keep it real because he's not on no. I bet if Corey Holcomb was on a television show and was being paid millions of dollars, he wouldn't be so vocal. It's easy to be vocal on a podcast.
Yeah, he knows that. He said it. He said they would never hire me.
But if they did, let's say NBC gave him a sitcom next week, his next podcast will be so different, your hair would look like Don King.
Yeah, because
that's all I'm saying.
Say certain things and he can't. Yeah, but
So he's been a little hypocritical because he's in a position where he can get on a podcast and speak his mind because he doesn't have a corporate check coming in. You know, Kevin Hart has corporate money. Kevin Hart's on TV commercial. Somebody said something I thought was funny as hell. Is that Kevin Hart is on so many commercials. He came on a commercial after a commercial. You know, so, so that's how hot he is. You know, so I
But
mean,
what is wrong with him? Well, I'm just in general, you know, because I don't want to work for corporate. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would never be a corporate person. So I always want to be on a platform where I want to be able to talk how I feel and say what I feel. You understand? And I don't want nobody to say anything to me, white, black, anybody.
well,
Because
let me
this
ask
is
you a
my
question then. Well, let
opinion.
me ask you a question. I'm going to challenge you.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know you're a very strong-willed person. I believe every word you just said. But I'm going to challenge you. So you're into the makeup business, right? You do makeup and all
Right.
that stuff. So let's say you got hired to do hair. Let's say Tyler Perry called you up and said, "Hey, I want you to come to my studio, and I'm going to pay you millions of dollars, Tiffany. We're going to start you off with $2 million to do makeup and hair for all the celebrities that come through here. $2 million. All right. So then all of a sudden, Tyler Perry watches the Black Therapy show, and he's pissed off about something you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, are you coming back on the Black Therapy show with me and Carl the following week? With the
Yes.
okay, sounds good.
I want you to understand. I stand in my truth. I wouldn't even
Okay,
put myself in a position like that anyway without having contracts. Also, I would tell them I have a podcast. I'm on it and I talk my opinion. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. My mother always told me to be real. Be real so nobody can't come for you. So I'm sorry, certain people will sell their soul. You understand? People think that when you say sell your soul, you selling yourself like you in a thing and doing stuff.
right, right.
No, selling your soul is when you do stuff like that. You're gonna do that to denounce what you. No, I'm not. I said what I said, and I mean what I said. You know, my mother is still alive. Only person I need to answer to and talk to is Florence. So
But
I'm
if you're,
sorry, baby. He can keep his money.
yeah, because in my opinion, I can't think of anything that I have said on this show or that anyone have said on this show that would be considered like racist or going after anyone, or I can't
Right.
think of anything. We don't do that. We don't talk about that. We talk about issues, stuff that's going on. We don't say we hate this. There's no hate.
No.
There's no hate in this. There's none.
No.
You know what I
I
mean?
agree.
But
But
I know it makes some people uncomfortable because I know a lot of my white friends that used to be friends. We are no longer friends on Facebook. We used to we're still friends, but we used to interact, and I noticed they kind of start to distance themselves. You know what I mean? But there's also some that stuck with me, and I always said,
Those are the real ones.
yeah, if you're my friend, you will want to know what I go through, what I deal with,
Right.
not run away from me. When I
Right.
start to talk, and I draw the comparison, like when my female friends tell me about their harassment, which I never knew was happening. I
Right.
never knew. Like I have female comedians tell me that bookers would want to sleep with them to book them, and if
Yeah.
they don't, you know what I mean? If they don't, or one booker wanted to see their boobs, show me your boobs, and I book it for
Yeah.
a week. You know what I
The
mean?
harassment just to get a step
Yeah,
up.
and one she was in an elevator, and some guy that she was doing a show with just kissed her while they were on the elevator together. They were on an elevator, and he just turned around and kissed her.
Right.
Another comic, they're booked in the same hotel. 2 o'clock in the morning, he's knocking on her door. Like, you know what I mean? So
It's a lot.
I didn't know. I didn't say, well, oh, okay, yeah. I didn't brush that off. I listened and I learned. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the people who watch this show and run away because they don't want to hear because it makes them uncomfortable. I know that's the one thing that a lot of white people can't deal with, and that is being uncomfortable.
And truth.
You know?
Truth can make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, they just
True.
don't want to deal with being uncomfortable.
And it's okay. It's okay.
Right.
It's a part of healing. It's a part of making that next step. We want you to listen. We want you to know. That's why, I feel like I have a story. I have a life. I've been through it. So I should not have to double down or nothing. I would not sell my soul for no one. No one.
And I believe you. I really 100% believe you. Hold on for a second. Hey, Tyler Perry. She said no.
No.
She said, kiss her ass.
The big old one, about 60 inches. No.
Oh,
Don't
damn.
get your measuring tapes. No.
Yeah. But I mean, I hear what Kevin's saying, you know, and it's just Black unity scares people. It's not even like we are united to fight or to be, just the simple fact that Black people are united scares people. I've been working at jobs, and if two Black people stand up and start talking, they send other Black people over to ask us to can you break it up? I'm like, break
Yes.
it up. We're actually talking about work, and God forbid it's 3 or 4 Black people in a group talking.
And they doing it and not knowing that they're doing it is because they've been programmed to be like this towards us. And it's real talk, but people don't recognize it. But now that once you become conscious and you know what's going on, you'll start to see and recognize it.
Yeah. So it's Black unity, and this whole thing with you know, when I said what if all the Black football players decide we are not playing? I mean all the scrubs, the ones on the bench, everybody. If every person that's Black decides we're not setting foot on the football field until shit gets right, would the NFL have would it be good football to watch?
No, they didn't do it. No,
You know,
I don't think it'll be good football to watch. I don't think.
it's not.
I think it'll be horrible football to watch. I don't think it's just a tough call, bro. Because I don't know.
Yeah.
And we bring soul to that field.
I'm asking if the Black players could bring the NFL to its knees.
But they won't do that. They tried that with Kaepernick, and what did they do? They threatened them. They got up off their knees.
Right, just like what they did with Kyrie Irving. What they did to Kyrie put fear in the other basketball players' heart. Right? They don't want none of that. They don't want to lose but they want that steady paycheck.
No, they want them. Yeah, they want them Black men that know their place.
Right.
Yeah, because you got your endorsements. Most of these guys make millions of dollars on tennis shoe endorsements. You know, pushing merchandise, tennis shoes, and stuff like that. So they lose all those endorsements and millions of dollars. You know, and I don't know. It's something about losing millions of dollars that make people uncomfortable.
Well, listen, I understand. You know, you have the money and then you don't have it. I understand anybody. We don't want to be poor. We don't want to suffer, you know, but, you know, you also have dignity too.
I've said this on the show before. Even the billionaire Black people seem to be scared of someone. Even like, I watch people like Oprah. You know what I mean? She seems like you have that kind of money. You have that kind of power. You have your own network, and you can still tell she's holding back. I mean, she's not speaking freely. Like
it's nothing that she can do. She's been in this game for too long. She can't do anything. Oprah feel like she did do her due diligence. She was on TV for a very long time and is still on TV, you know. So listen, what can you do?
Right. It's just kind of sad. Nicole from YouTube. What's up, Nicole? Nicole Coates, is that?
My sister.
Oh, what's up, Nicole? She said the Black players are owned, they're bought and paid for, which is absolutely true. I'm glad you brought that up because now I'm going to show this video. Michael Johnson, remember him? He was Olympic champion. I think he wrote a book, but here's a little video.
I've won 4 Olympic golds in sprinting. At this level of my sport, nearly all the athletes are Black. Almost every one of us is descended from slaves. Is that a coincidence? It's a controversial connection that could be exploited by racists.
There is a worry that the cliche of the Black man has more testosterone, is more aggressive.
But if it's true, it's a story of how some of the most brutalized people on Earth rose to become its super athletes.
Let's examine Survival of the Fastest, a documentary by Olympic legend Michael Johnson, who says There is a superior athletic gene in the descendants of West African slaves. Johnson states it's a fact that hasn't been discussed openly before. It's a taboo subject in the States, but it is what it is. Why shouldn't we discuss it? Reigning Olympic 100-meter champion Usain Bolt was born in Trelawney Parish, Jamaica, where British Olympic boss Lord Coe's plantation-owning ancestor, George Hyde Park, had 297 slaves. Johnson says it is currently being researched to see how much of a factor being descended from slaves contributes to athletic ability. Here's the reality of slave breeding. I feature this topic heavily in my books because genetics is one of my favorite subjects. The reality, it's a pretty damn brutal realization. Black slaves of high intelligence, creativity, and were independent thinkers actually fought against captivity and thus, were never actually slaves. They were killed or disallowed to procreate. Their intellectual pedigree would only breed dissidents. Slave owners naturally want a strong body and an absent mind, of which they can control and insert any ideas and ways of thinking they find most advantageous, i.e., Christianity. And I mean no offense to anyone of the Christian faith. This is a researchable fact. Fortunate blacks were able to flee the South early on and have a chance to educate themselves and rebound from the slave breeding, its controls and laws.
So Michael Johnson is saying there's a connection between slavery and athletes.
Well, what he's
Athletes.
athletes. What he's saying is that's what they did. They breeded the male and the female, like the strongest ones, with each other, because they would have strong children, and it's I hate seeing these things because it bothers me because they treated us like livestock. They looked at us as cattle, as animals, and breeding us and stuff. And they really think like, get over it. That happened so many years ago, but it affects us today, in society. And it's sad. It's sad.
Charlene says, and yes, sometimes I do feel uncomfortable, but it is still important to me to listen to what you have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nicole Cole says, the draft pick is just a fancy auction block. 100%.
Yes.
100%.
But isn't that every form of life though? Like, I mean, even most people get up every morning and sit in rush hour traffic or get on the train and go to a 9-to-5 job for $25 an hour, and they really don't like their job, right?
You said for $25 an hour. Who go to work for $25 an hour?
Well, some people do.
Some people do.
But some people go for lower than that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just, okay. Let's go down to 15 hours then, Tiff. I'm just saying. Okay, but I'm just saying, no matter what, people still, even in the regular 9-to-5 job, right? They still leave their house at 5:30 in the morning, go sit in traffic, spend an hour going through the damn Lincoln Tunnel to get into the city. Got to pay the Lincoln Tunnel $15 to get into.
Oh God!
They sit in this bumper traffic, then they get into the dirty ass city. No offense to New Yorkers, but then they get into the city. You got to deal with that traffic, and then overpay for parking. To park their car, and then deal with the hustle and bustle, right? Of everyday life, right? No matter what you do,
we're all.
And they're doing that for what, $700, $800 a week at the taxes, right? Or $1,200 a week at the taxes, right? But that's if you're lucky, right? And none of these people are telling their bosses to kiss their ass, right?
They can because they got to pay those bills.
But we're asking athletes to do that, right? I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not taking up for the athletes. I'm just being realistic,
No, it is. You 100% right. It's you being realistic. They're not going to give up their money because they have to live. And the same thing with a person that has a 9 to 5 that is single or that is have both parents. And they still got to pay their bills, so they have to deal with any type of abuse that their job gives them because they need to pay their bills. And that's why I want to say I salute parents. I salute people that work for corporate because that's a hard job. I've been an independent worker for a very long time just because I'm not going to be talked to any kind of way. I'm not going to have to deal with no abuse because I need this check. I can't. It would take out of me. I won't be able to live properly. But I salute y'all because I can't do it.
Right. I can dig it.
So basically, what Kevin's saying is that we're all slaves, just from a higher price than others.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
basically that's what I'm saying. Because I'm just saying I don't want people to say, "Hey," I don't like when people say people that make millions of dollars are bought and paid. Because the reason I say that is because there's thousands of young kids that are out playing sports right now on basketball courts and football fields, and their parents put them into karate classes or boxing lessons or whatever, and they're still not going to become professional athletes. They're still not going to get a scholarship to school. Even the ones that do get a scholarship to go to college to play basketball still might not make it to the NBA. You know, there's a lot of people that go to college for sports on scholarships and still don't make it to pro sports.
No, you're 100% right. But it's
So
also
the whole thing that everybody don't say that everybody who makes a lot of money, every black man who makes a lot of money is bought and paid.
We didn't say that. Not all. It's a percentage because you do, like you said, it's all people that do it from the heart. They do it because they love sports. They do it because they worked hard for it. But then you have a lot of people that are bought and paid, and it's okay because it's a part of life. But it happens.
And you know, I mean, it's like seeing on social media, oh, Jay-Z is part of the Illuminati and Beyonce is sold her soul to the devil. You know, we never said that about freaking Elizabeth Taylor or Frank Sinatra or, you know, or white entertainers. Why when black entertainers are successful, they sold their soul to the devil or the Illuminati, you know, and we never said that about white entertainers who are multi-successful millionaires and billionaires and stuff like that. We always sell ourselves short, is what I'm saying to everybody's watching and listening to my
So you
voice.
think, Kevin, that's the Willie Lynch letter in full effect? Put the light skin black against the dark skin black. Put the male against the female. You know what I mean? Just put.
I think you're right, Carl. I think it does. It works that way. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're so quick to I think that every football player you see on that field has worked his ass off to sacrifice his body and everything else to get to where he is. You know.
Yeah, and they like they check, and that's why they didn't have a problem. We don't have to kneel. We want our check.
They didn't sprain ankles and knees and backs and all sorts of stuff. I mean, I know athletes, man, and I know what they go through. It's like, you know, even being a professional comedian, the sacrifice that I done, you know, me, and I'm not even a celebrity comic. I'm successful, I guess, but I'm not a superstar, not like that. I'm just saying, I know the sacrifice I didn't put in. You know, if I ever get a TV show, somebody said Kevin Lee sold out, they're getting cursed out like crazy. I didn't bust my ass up there. Sleep every time I slept in the back of my car on 95, you know, and woke up because I was cold. You know, I mean, I done made some major sacrifices in this industry.
Yeah,
you know,
but for me, as far as the NFL goes, okay, so Kaepernick took a knee because of black people being killed in the streets
by police officers, yes.
And all of that.
And he was told you can't take a knee, you know what I mean? So which means Jerry Jones didn't give a shit. So
exactly, you're right. I agree. We all agree on that. Jerry Jones didn't give a shit about Kaepernick. He don't give a shit probably about Trayvon Martin, you know, but the millions of black people who didn't stand up for Kaepernick and continued to watch football when, you know, who couldn't for 16 weeks say, I'm not watching the fucking Eagles or the Redskins or whoever for 16 weeks of your life. You couldn't stop watching football. you're part of the problem then.
I
Because
know.
then,
And you don't you watch football?
who, me? I'm
Yeah.
not a big football guy. No,
You watch
I
more
watch.
basketball.
I watch the NBA. I'm a big NBA guy. I don't really care much for football. I watch,
Yeah, I've
I
been
mean,
stopped watching.
I grew up, but no, I'm a basketball guy. Like I watch the NFL. I mean, I watch the NBA. That's what I'm saying. I know those guys. I mean, they're making millions of dollars, and a lot of these guys give to the community. Everybody is not putting a billboard up what they do. A lot of these guys are millionaires. They're doing things in their community for kids. They're giving back some of that money. They doing stuff.
And
They're
they
not just.
should. Because
That's
they
what
came,
you're right.
like you said, they came from humble beginnings. A lot of them didn't come from nothing. So you're supposed to give back. That's a
And
part of it.
LeBron James gets a lot of press because he's a superstar. So when he does stuff, he gets press. A lot of guys who aren't as big as LeBron James are still putting money back into some of the neighborhoods they came out of. But LeBron James, of course, he didn't turn half of Akron, Ohio. Most of the brothers that he came up with are all millionaires running businesses now.
And that's the
He
way
didn't
it's
set all
supposed
those
to go.
guys up, to have their own businesses, and they're all living large and taking care of their families now. So
So
even
basically,
guys like Larry Holmes, boxer Larry Holmes, who doesn't get no credit, he didn't bought all these businesses in Pennsylvania where he grew up at, and employed so many people. He didn't put so much of his millions of dollars he earned into his community. So
And
these
they
guys
don't
give back.
broadcast that. They don't put that
No,
up.
they don't. They don't. But these
And that's
guys
the
giving
truth.
back. They're giving back. So I mean, we learn about some of this stuff when some of these guys pass away. Some of this stuff get out in the open what they did. And what schools they built, what charities they give money to. But right now, everybody's trying to live their best life and provide for their families. And I know most of these guys, first thing they do when they make money is they take care of their mama. They take care of their
And well,
father.
that's what you're supposed to do. Take care of your mama. But don't never
Yep.
forget where you come from. We're not telling you to go in the middle of the street and throw money up. But it's always some type of way that you can give back and help your community. And most of our communities now, they need outlets. They need community centers. They need somewhere for our young people to go so they can stop selling drugs and stop killing one another and stop shooting. So that was it.
yeah. So basically, what Kevin is saying is that we are too hard on black people. We gotta cut them some slack.
I'm not listening to Kevin. I'm not.
Except for Kanye West.
I'm not listening to Kevin. I'm not. We are not too hard on them. We is good on them. What we need to do is work better together. Learn how to get along with each other. That's what we need to do.
Facts.
Okay.
So
I agree with you.
Nicole says, when I become a missionary, my family will become missionaries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what
she said missionaries. Was she? I hope she spelled it right. Missionaries.
Yeah, it says. Look at the comment. It says. There it is. That's what she said. When I become a missionary, my family will become missionaries.
I hope she's trying.
Okay.
No, I think she must have made a mistake. I think she must have made a mistake. Sister, fix that. I'm trying to help you. She was saying millionaire. I think when I become a
millionaire.
Yeah.
You think so?
I hope so. Because I don't want to do no missionary work, sister. I don't want to.
You ain't trying to go to no poor country and hang out.
Okay,
and sell them the white Jesus. No.
Yeah, she meant millionaire. You're right. She meant millionaire.
Yeah, that's what she meant. You you type it and you go. Yeah. You be like, I messed up. Let me do it again. Yeah, she feel like when she's a millionaire, she's gonna make sure her family's a millionaire, and that's how you're supposed to do it. This is how you build generational wealth, and this is how you bring do businesses and stuff. It starts from the beginning, and that's what we want to promote here on the Black Therapy Show. Yeah, we going through the therapy, but we also want to have solutions. And we must build with our family. We must learn how to get along with one another, especially like we need to have our own village so we can be able to do what we got to do, because this is too much. We too separated. We too much against one another. And yes, we need to stop talking down on one another too. You know. So.
Like I said, build our own community and live in it. All right, we're going to wrap it up. I want to thank everyone for joining us here another Sunday. I was talking to Tiffany earlier, and I was thinking if we should take a break until the end of the year. We didn't decide, but I know shit can go sideways whenever we take a break. But I guess we can discuss that.
We'll be back next week. We'll figure it out next week.
We'll figure it out next week.
Yeah, but it's just what we're doing is just upgrading. Carl wants to upgrade.
Yes.
He want to do more things, but we definitely going to keep it constant. We're going to have reels. He's going to be putting up reels and little snippets of our past shows, because we want y'all to like and subscribe. Please share. Let people know about us. We need to have the conversation.
Let's get that 8 people. We need 8 people. 8 people.
We need 8 people. We need 8 people, folks.
That don't make no sense. We need 8 people.
8 people.
We need 8 people.
Let's get 10 just in case 2 fall off or something like that.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely piss off somebody. So we need 10 people.
So Charlene says, "Thanks for letting me in." Charlene, you don't have to say thanks for letting me in. Like you're an outsider.
It's open.
Yeah, it's open. It's like, yeah. Basically, she's saying thanks for letting in this Jew. You know what I mean? But
bring some like more of your friends so we can all find out about each other.
I know
we want to learn about different cultures.
Ask her if she got 8 friends.
I know. Charlene, you got 8 friends that can subscribe to our show, so we can take our show to the next level and get monetized, all that good stuff. So before we go, Kevin, anything you want to share or anything you learned on tonight's show before we go?
Yeah, I learned that Jerry Jones is a piece of... No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no. I learned that powerful, rich people aren't going to apologize for nothing they did because they don't feel like nobody can touch them for 10-foot poles. So he's not going to apologize to us because, we can't touch him. He's untouchable as far as we're concerned. So, yeah. And I learned that it's a very good show once again, man. I enjoy doing this show. It's a good show. And we'll be back next Sunday. Then we might take a couple stuff to the year.
Yeah. No, I just want to do some upgrades to the show. And like you said, I was telling Tiffany, I was working on this project. And so I wasn't spending a lot of time, upgrading the show and doing a lot of stuff I wanted to do. But I got that out of the way. So now I have time. So.
Oh, y'all, guess what?
What?
Mommy got Hebrews to Negro.
What?
Y'all should see this book. Ma! This book is this big.
Really?
It's so big and thick.
Wow. Have you guys watched the movie? And how long is the movie?
No, it's not the movie. Well, she is a movie, but we got the book.
Yeah, I know you say you got the book, but I think the movie's like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, they said it's like 2 or 3 hours. So she's been in there like this all day.
Damn. Wow.
It's about this thick, y'all. It is big. Like it came in a big old box. I was like, damn.
You get that from Amazon?
Yeah, we got it from Amazon. It's a very big book. So it's like a textbook. Like, the back in the day social studies textbook. That's how big
all right. So your favorite guy once again says you lost me as a subscriber. Oh well, okay. I mean, like, listen, we do. If we had one subscriber, we would still do this show. If we had no subscriber, and that's the truth, I would do this show with no one watching.
Who do we lose?
Once again, said we lost him as a subscriber.
It's okay.
He likes conflict, and we weren't giving him enough conflict, I guess.
Yeah, he wasn't giving you enough conflict because I was over it. God bless you.
You know what I mean? So I don't understand why you would. Okay, so you're not a subscriber. Like, okay, like
God bless
Why he had to
you.
say something?
yeah, right. Like our show was never controversial. We never went at it with anyone. We were never angry at anyone. We were never like, oh, you know what I mean? It was never like that. So once again, if you subscribe or you don't subscribe, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, and remember, this is a platform that you have a choice. This is a revolving door. You know, you can come in and you can come out. It's just your choice. It's so many different platforms out there that you can choose from. But we want to say God bless you, you know, regardless to what. And, you know, thank you for coming to the show, y'all. Thank you. We thank everybody that are our subscribers.
And
Thank
Can I say something? So public. So we're looking for people to subscribe for our show. We're trying to make this show grow, and the first person to sign off is a black man.
I know. That's what he said. You lost his subscriber.
You don't have to give him any energy. God, you don't have to give
None
him
about white viewers have subscribed on other than.
It's okay. God bless.
I mean, like, I never even saw this as anything controversial. Like even the interaction with him, I never got upset. I never got.
No, that was you really liked his opinion, you know, and God bless him.
Yeah. So.
But we will be back next week.
Absolutely.
You know, please make sure you like and subscribe. Remember, this show is all about having a conversation. Everything is alleged. This is fair use. And we want y'all to come back again and tell us how you feel. Our email is theblacktherapieshow@gmail.com. And we love you, and we really thank you all for coming out with us.
Thank you for saying that, Tiffany. You expressed my feelings exactly. Norma Staley says, God, well, my birthday on December 16th.
Happy birthday.
That's Tanya's grandma. Hey, Granny. That's Tanya's grandma.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
She watches the show religiously every Sunday. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
And she says she'll be 73 on December 16th.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. And we wish you, as long as you have great health, that's all you want for your birthday.
Yes.
As long as you have good health. So thank you, Norma, for watching, and happy birthday. And we will sing happy birthday to you next week.
We're going to lose some more subscribers if I sing.
All right. So thanks to everyone for watching the show. Please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Let's get, like as they say, as everyone always say, let's get those likes up. Let's get those subscribers up. Let's get those notifications up. 8 is the magic number. How many votes did Trump say he needed to win? Said, I need 11,000.
I just need 11,000.
I know. I just need 11,000. We only need 8. Trump needed 11,000. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Remember, please tell the people you love that you love them. They're not psychic. Donna Haygood, thank you so much, Donna.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for checking in with me. Donna now has been going through some stuff, and she has been right there every step of the way, and I truly appreciate you, Donna. Hugs and kisses to you and your family. Thank you so much. And with that, we are out.
We are out. Peace.
Peace and love.
We need 8 more.
Game, break away from the chains. We helping you break the black therapy show. You in a safe space, dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Now we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know we Kevin, Kevin and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We be giving you empathy, we gon' challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We build your your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God up above. No, it's called Kevin and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.